So hey everyone, so I wanted to do a quick video of this book. We really need to talk about this book. So I read this one pretty quickly in less than a week and I finished it last night and I was like, we have to review this because this book is so good. I'm ever so sorry about the slight shake of the camera. I am trying my hardest to keep it still. But I have an illness that kind of makes me shake a little bit. But yeah, I'm off camera today just because I'm still not feeling 100%, so we're just going to stare at the book instead. And I apologise if I get some of the things wrong or incorrect, but I'm going 100% off memory for this one. So this is a YA thriller book called fourfounddead by Natlie D Richards. This is kind of like a movie theatre type of book where they're in a mall and the mall is going to be closed down and they're having their last night on shift, but it turns into chaos as there's a killer trying to kill them all off. So on the front it says there were 7 of them working late, then the door's locked. So first off, I want to appreciate the cover. The cover is so beautiful. Like, it's a really pretty cover and we have so much detail. So I think this is like the theatre type thing, and I would assume that would be Clayton on there, and the spine. This is the first book I've read by this author and she's done so many other popular ones, but for me this was really fast paced and it kind of kept me guessing a little bit and my heart was racing a little bit. So yeah, so this was really good. So I gave this 5-star. I've done a review on Goodreads. I will leave the link in the description, so you can go and have a look at the Goodreads from link. So it says, at the movie theatre where Joe works, the last show has ended, but the nightmare is just beginning. Tonight, Riverview Theaters is closing forever, the last remaining business in a defunct shopping mall. The moviegoers have left, and Joe and her 6 co-workers have the final shift. A shift that quickly turns dark. First, a stranger arrives with a chilling accusation, then the power goes out and their manager disappears, along with the keys to the lobby doors and the theatre safe, where the crew's phones are locked each shift. Their tension turns to terror when Joe discovers the dead body of one of her co-workers. Now their only chance to escape the murderer in their midst is through the dark, shuttered mall with its boarded up exits, and both pursuer and pursued in order to survive the night. Jo and her friends must trust one another, navigate the sprawling ruins of the mall, and outwit a killer before he kills again. So this is 317 pages long. I'm just trying to get the book in focus. Yeah, so this is basically a story where we hear from Joe's point of view throughout the story of, but throughout the book we have little notes which I thought were Joe's writing until we get to the end. I'm trying to find one in the midst of all these tabs. So at the end we have, I'm just going to show you, is what we have is Quincy's, I think I pronounced it right, sorry I haven't, letter, where pieces of this letter is throughout the book in between chapters, which was a little bit confusing for me, but then once you read the end it kind of all clicks in. But we start off with 7 of them, so there's Hannah, Summer, Lexi, Naomi, I think if I pronounced that right, Hudson, Clayton, Joe, Quincy, and they're kind of clearing up the cinema, putting things away and stuff, when Joe notices that Clayton has a gun. but she doesn't say anything to anybody else about the gun. But she probably could have said. I think I've got that bit right. I'm not 100% sure if that was Quincy who saw the gun, but I'm pretty sure we were reading from Joe's point of view. Yeah, so Joe has a trauma that happened to her when she was age 9, where she had to cover her sister, where her father was killed at the gas station where he worked, and I think he owned it. So he was shot dead, and Joe and her sister had to see that, but she tried to shield her sister as much as possible from the trauma and seeing everything. As for Joe, it was too late. That's Joe's backstory, and Hudson lost someone too, his uncle, I think, in a car accident, which is how he ended up with the seizures that he has, which he has 3 in this book from the trauma of the night and not having medication. But this story is basically how Clayton, the bad guy, has a wife called Ava, and she turns up at the movie theatre to demand to know who this other female is. Who he was cheating on her with. And Clayton just loses his shit, goes absolutely mad, and is basically killing them off one by one. I think our first kill is Lexi, where she was strangled to death because she knew about the secret that Summer had told her. So Lexi is found, and then we have trying to remember. I think Ava passed too somehow, because there was like a little letter of hers mentioned in this book, but there's like little reports mentioned in this book as well about how the families are dealing with it, the investigation and stuff like that. And then we have our second person to die, which I can't remember who that was. Someone fell off of the 3rd floor balcony, I think, who was pushed by Clayton to her death, and the detail and everything was gruesome and horrible. And then we have Summer, who was shot, but then she still manages to carry on, and she kind of helps the other ones to kind of help Clayton until she can't anymore. So she passes from her spleen being ruptured and torn. And then finally we have Clayton, who Quincy decides to kill because of the fact that he killed Summer, and Quincy had a thing for Summer but never really admitted it to her. So there was kind of payback, but there was kind of secrets, twists and turns and all that kind of stuff. And the secret is that Summer was dating, so it was Hannah who fell to her death, now remembering. Summer was dating Clayton, so she was the mystery woman, I believe. So yeah, so the ending was satisfying for Clayton. They definitely deserved to die the way he did, because he was taunting them throughout the book, and they spent the whole night trying to escape, figure out how to set the fire alarms off, how to get help, because they were all going to go to IHOPs for pancakes after their shift, and obviously that never happened. And not many people were really, their parents and family members weren't really expecting them. So they had a whole night of just looking and trying to work out how they're going to get help and how they're going to get out of this building, because everything in the mall is boarded up, plywood. They can't get out, the exits are blocked to stop people from coming in. But yeah, basically Clayton just loses his mind and just kills his co-workers, and the only survivors are Naomi, if I pronounce that right, Quincy, if I pronounce that right, Joe and Hudson. And Joe and Hudson have a little romantic thing going on towards the end of the book, which was really cute and kind of nice to read about. So yeah, so they basically, those people who survive are going to be stuck with trauma for the rest of their lives. I'm trying to keep this review very short and sweet. And they get a letter from Quincy because he's in some mental kind of rehabilitation type thing after everything that's happened, which is understandable. But yeah, I really liked this book. It was very kind of fitting for October, very spooky, very fast paced. There were bits where I was like, I need to know what happens. There was enough to keep me going, kind of enough drama, but not too much. So yeah, I'm going to give this book 5 stars. And if you like YA thrillers, and kind of a little bit of a mystery in there, and a complete mall that's empty where they're running around for their lives trying to survive, and if you kind of want a little bit of gore on how they die and that, I guess this book's for you. I kind of cringed a little bit at that. I'm not really a gore kind of horror person. So yeah, this is the first book that I've read. I really, really liked it. I'm giving it 5 stars. There was a lot of detail in there, and yeah, it's 317 pages, so I managed to do this read in under a week. So I will be moving on to You Won't Believe Me next, and I'll probably be reviewing that one. So please like, comment, and subscribe because it helps my channel grow. And yeah, thank you very much.